Hello, welcome to Community Connection. I'm your host, Gloria Enloe. The goal of this program has always been to let people know what's happening in Jefferson City. Sometimes I hear people say that there's nothing to do in Jefferson City, and I couldn't disagree more. And so this show is designed to let you know what's happening, what you can go and take your family to, or just go by yourself and check out. Believe it or not, the holiday season is rapidly approaching, and one thing is that Jefferson City does right is Christmas. We do the holiday up right here in town. There's tons of events, a lot of them covered by JCTV. And one thing that always kicks off the holiday season is Living Windows. And with us today we have Sam Bushman with Living Windows and the Downtown Association, and of course, a lot of people know you from Samuel's Tuxedos. Sam, welcome to the program.
Good to be here again.
Well, for some of our viewers who might not be familiar with Living Windows, the tradition, can you tell us a little bit about the event?
Well, we started in 1988, and it just kind of, the News Tribune actually started it, and they approached the merchants, and so everybody, we thought, oh yeah, this is just another thing the newspaper is doing. But I think our first year we had maybe 5,000 people, which, for a Friday night was really, really good. Mm-hmm. And so, next year we were more receptible, and we were up to about 10,000. And now, if the weather's good, we can have 20 to 25,000 people downtown. And our windows come alive, and we've got singers and dancers and church groups doing things, and we've got the hay rides courtesy of Parks and Rec. We're going to have trolley rides this year. The mansion is open for candlelight tours, which people come from all over the state of Missouri and the Midwest just to go to the mansion. Mm-hmm. But it's a nice family night, and it's free. So we want everybody to bring the family, bring the kids, and come down. And there's the candy cane house at the courthouse, and Santa Claus is at Hawthorne Bank, and that goes back to the 30s. So, they can come down and see Santa Claus, go to the mansion, meet the Nixons, and see the decorations there. This year, CenturyLink down on Madison Street, they have worked it with they've been talking to the North Pole. And Santa's going to be at Hawthorne Bank, but they're going to do a satellite link to the North Pole, and kids can come in to CenturyLink, call the North Pole, talk to Santa's elves, and tell them what they want for Christmas. So it's a good way to let Santa know what you want.
Right, and get those elves to work.
Yeah. Well, they need to know. If they have a run on Hot Wheels or something like that, they got to make those, or wagons, or I don't know what kids want today.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Because especially with my daughter, it changes day to day. The last thing she wanted was a pirate ship, which I don't know if we can make that happen, but.
Well, I bet the elves could probably make one.
She'll have to get down there and call.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, that's a really neat idea, and I think that it's, for me, it's always a symbolic start of the Christmas season when Living Windows happens. And of course, that's just one event that starts. You guys always have it the Friday before the parade, right?
Yeah, we are always Friday night. Well, Thursday night is a lighting of the city Christmas tree at Rotary Park. That's Thursday night. Then Friday night from 6 p.m. to 9, we have the Living Windows. The Christmas parade has been moved more to the evening, so I think it's 4:30 this year, and the theme is Rock and Roll Christmas. But you can come spend the whole weekend downtown and just kind of step back where things are a little bit slower, and kind of a Christmas of the 1950s or 1960s. And it's all free. That's a nice thing. You don't have to go pay a charge to get in and then pay for each ride and everything. This is an event where you can bring the family, and it doesn't cost you anything.
Right. But if you are there and want to do some Christmas shopping, that's available to you too. So
and Santa, since we have our toy department, sometimes Santa's elves are really too busy to make them. Santa will come in and get some items from me too. So families can do that, and then go down and tell the elves what they want.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a wonderful event, and you mentioned that you could have, upwards of 20,000 people there. How many businesses participate and have exhibits in their windows?
The majority of them. And in fact, we started out, it was just the 100 and 200 block. Now we're in the 100, 200, 300 block. We've expanded down Madison to McCarty. And we've got like Dancers Alley's going to be dancing at Grace Episcopal Church. So we're going on to Adams. So we're running out of space, but that's a nice problem to have.
It certainly is. What kind of groups do you work with to get it? I know you said you have some singers and you have some dancers. Is it mostly schools and studios, or?
We have some of the dance groups like Dancers Alley, but from the start it's been churches, and the Southridge Baptist Church. I think they've sung on the corner of High and Madison for years now, and we've got a singing group from Honey Creek Lutheran's going to be down in Linda Hilgedick's building at the end of Madison there by McCarty. But we have a lot of churches. If people want to come down early, if they do want to feed the family very inexpensively, the Boy Scouts are having a spaghetti dinner at the First Baptist Church. So, but the churches have always been very, very good at participating. And, it is kind of the Christmas season. So we appreciate that, and we really encourage the churches to still keep helping us.
Are there any big attractions like windows that are just kind of must-see windows every year that people always flock to?
Well, everything changes. Like we've had part of the Cantorum group for maybe the last 10 years. This year we're going to put Mike Michelson in their window, and he's just going to play his keyboard. But they're all good. We've had animals. It kind of depends on the size of your window, and just come down. They can kind of be surprised.
Right, and it's not something you're going to see every day.
No,
just a whole downtown area lit up like that.
Yeah, no, it's just a wonderful time, and hopefully, we don't have real cold weather, no snow. We did get snowed out one year, which is not bad considering the length of that we've gone just to have 1 year when we had to postpone it. So.
Now, you said the News Tribune was something that started this. Is this something that happens in other cities, or was the inspiration kind of like an old-timey Christmas?
It started here, and Beth Chisholm worked for the News Tribune. She left and she went over to Columbia, and Columbia does it, but it's never taken off. They don't get the crowds, and they don't get the enthusiasm, and so it's never really done much. And I know a few years ago I got a call from Monette, Missouri, and they were considering doing it. Jody Krantz, who was here for a long time, I think she's doing something similar to it maybe in Independence. But we're kind of we're the best. Ours just it's just so unique, and we get people from all over that come. I don't know if we're in Midwest Living this year, but I know it's going to be in Missouri Life, just a little thing. And we get people coming from Wisconsin. My phone number is the phone number they list. And I've had people from Illinois, Wisconsin. We've had them from Kansas. And, they see the listing, and they call, and they come. Mm-hmm. So it's nice.
All right. It's a great way to showcase the city, too.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Anything that people need to know in advance? What time should they start arriving, and how long are the businesses going to be open that night?
Well, it's 6 to 9, but as I said, we get a lot of people, they come downtown and eat. So, you could go to Madison's or go eat with the Boy Scouts and eat spaghetti and salad. And we do that every year. They deliver it to us, and we're well fed before we start, and we appreciate that. But, just come down. Parking, High Street will be closed to traffic. So, but we've got parking, all of the surface parking lots, and you could park in the state lots. And, just come down and have a nice family night.
Is this geared more towards younger kids, older kids, or kind of all ages?
It's just all ages. We have older, people who come down just because they enjoy, seeing everything. And we have lots of people my age who bring their grandkids down with them. And, it's a good way to bond with your grandchildren. So it's just all ages.
All right, well, it sounds great, Sam. And just want to remind people again, it's going to be Friday, November 30th from 6 to 9. And if you're in the downtown area, you can't miss it.
That's right.
All right. And we'd like to thank our viewers at home for watching JCTV. And JCTV will be once again taping the parade, which is Saturday, December 1st. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the parade in the second half of this program. We're going to have the chair and the co-chair from the Jaycees come by and tell us what's happening this year. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to have more great programming for you. Thanks for watching.
Laura says we should start worrying about drinking at these things.
You're only 12.
I know. I'm just glad you know better, sweetheart.
You're too smart for that, right, honey?
Real kids are curious about alcohol. 40% tried by the 8th grade. Talk early, talk often, get others involved.
Hello, welcome back to Community Connection. I'm your host, Gloria Enloe. For those of you just joining us, Community Connection is a show designed to let people in Jefferson City know what's happening in their city. There really is a lot to do in our capital city. You just have to know where to look to find it. And one of the things Jefferson City always does right is Christmas. We usually have a whole string of events designed to kick off the holiday season. And with us today, we have two people from the Jefferson City Jaycees, Julie and Jennifer, who are going to tell us about another long-standing Jefferson City tradition, and that is the Jaycees Christmas Parade. Julie, Jennifer, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Well, for some of our viewers who might not be familiar with the Jaycees, Julie, can you tell us a little bit about the organization?
Sure. The Missouri Jaycees are a young leadership organization that are geared towards building leaders in your community. We offer training programs. They sit on boards, and so they can learn different variety of positions, from directors to the chapter president. They could become state president and state vice presidents, and we run a myriad of programs for the community.
Right. And this is primarily targeted at younger people, right?
Yes, 18 to 40.
Okay. Well, the Jaycees, obviously, they do a lot in the community. I'm sure even people that maybe are not from the area are familiar with the parade, or with the fair that you guys do every year in the summer. But the parade is another long-standing tradition. Is there anything you can tell us about this year's parade?
Sure. This is the
73rd.
73rd
Yeah.
Jefferson City Jaycees Christmas Parade. And generally they just pick somebody from the chapter that's willing to chair the project, and then they set everything in motion. The good thing about the Jaycees, are part of their organization, is they always, what we call a CPG, it's a chairman's planning guide. So the previous year's chairman will have like a planning guide that'll tell the new chairmen how to kind of run a program, and so it's helpful to have that information. So we run off that, and then actually we have tons of current and alumni that are willing to help us during our Christmas parade, because it does take a lot of volunteers.
Yeah, and it is an entirely volunteer-driven organization, and I know that takes a lot of manpower. It takes a lot of manpower just to do one event like that, but you guys are doing things throughout the year.
Yes.
I know every year the parade has a theme. Is there a theme again this year?
Yeah, go ahead, Jennifer.
The theme this year is rock and roll Christmas is what we're doing this year. So those that are going to bring in their entries for their floats, of course, have to have the lights. There's a minimum number of lights they have to have, and just kind of go with the rock and roll theme.
Talking about the lights, that is something that's fairly new. You know, the parade used to be kind of in the middle of the day, and recently, in the past few years, it's gone to more of a nighttime parade. Was there a reason behind that, making that switch?
Well, actually, there was. We kind of come to the parade where people would just sit on a trailer with some hay bales, and it really wasn't interesting anymore. You got people started getting away from the float themes and doing things, and so we moved it to the night to be more like a Christmas feel, and then the lights just add to the, well, for safety, but it also adds to the character of the floats.
Okay. So is that something you foresee kind of being a permanent change?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think that the Jaycees are hoping that to be permanent.
Right. Well, the Jaycees, obviously, in addition to putting the whole parade together, there's always a Jaycees float too. Any ideas on what that's going to look like this year?
Oh, we have a few ideas. Obviously, we'll have Santa on our float. You have to have always the, and Mrs. Claus is this year again. So she's been with us the last couple years too, so that's been good. But yeah, we have a few ideas, and so we're kicking them around, and we should start building in the next week or so.
Right. And I think it's important to point out too that since Santa and Mrs. Claus are making that long trip down from the North Pole, that they are going to be the only Santa and Mrs. Claus in the parade.
Yes, that
right?
is a requirement, and we will. So we actually ask everybody that participates in the parade to not have any others dressed up like that.
Right.
So, because since they are going to be here, we need to not have anybody taking their place.
Right. Their helpers can take care of making the toys. This
Right.
year.
That's right. Their helpers can do that.
Yep.
Typically, the parade, it's usually a pretty long parade. There's a lot of entries. Typically, how many people do you have, or organizations or groups that sign up to be in the Christmas parade?
Jennifer, you went through that list the other day. Do you remember how many were on there? About 80?
Yeah, I think we've even gone up to almost 100 at one time. So it seems like each year they get a little longer, more, more entries, so makes it last a little longer, to where usually the front usually catches up with the end of it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Are there any restrictions on who can be in the parade, or any kind of requirements they have to meet if they want to have a float or march or anything like that?
I don't think we necessarily have any, I don't know. I mean, there is a set of requirements, of course, when you build your float, but age-wise, type of float, who's on it, I don't believe there's any restrictions on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, rock and roll theme, that sounds like fun. How do you guys go about choosing a theme every year? Is it kind of just a group discussion where you throw ideas out, or was there anything that really hit you about that theme this year?
Yeah, no, I think we just kind of go through, like I said, the chairman's planning guides and see what's been done in the previous years to try to not overlap anything. And then it was actually a couple past presidents and alumni that we kind of just got together and was talking about it and about our Grand Marshal, because we always have to pick a Grand Marshal, and so we're really excited about that, and we just picked it, and it's kind of come to us.
And who is the Grand Marshal this year? Because I know Sam Bushman from Samuel Tuxedo's Grand Marshal last year, I believe. Yeah.
Bernie Fechtel is going to be our Grand Marshal this year, and we're really excited, and he was very excited and honored to be our Grand Marshal, so we're excited for him.
Yeah. And you guys always find a really nice vehicle for the Grand Marshal of the parade.
Oh yeah,
too.
he'll have a nice car.
Always. Yeah.
Well, one thing we always pray for when we have any kind of parade is good weather. Now we know it's going to be December 1st, so it's probably not going to be a balmy 70 degrees outside or anything.
No.
But are there cases where you guys have had to cancel the parade or postpone it, or is it kind of a rain or shine event?
Generally, it's a rain or shine, but a few years ago we did. That was the first time that anybody could ever remember that we canceled it, but that was when we got that abundant amount of snow. So that was the only time, and we just postponed it until the next weekend.
It can be kind of hard to parade through a foot of snow.
Oh yeah, yeah. But
Pretty
usually
messy.
snow or rain, we don't cancel.
Right. Well, for our viewers who may not realize that there's been a time change or that it's later in the day now, when and where is the parade going to take place?
Go ahead.
I got it. The parade is actually, of course, December 1st. It starts at 4:30, and it's going to be downtown Jeff City. So, and it usually goes down to, I believe it's Adams Street, back down Lafayette, and then back down up to Missouri Boulevard.
Right, makes a big loops.
Makes a big loop, yeah.
Right. For anyone who might be thinking of entering a parade or a float in the parade, in addition to having to have the lights and meeting the requirements that you guys send out, I know that something really popular is candy. Of course, a lot of people always hand out candy, but is there anything that they should know as far as maybe carefully distributing candy so that people don't get hurt? Because you have a lot of kids that come out and watch the parade.
Yeah. It's real important, if you're on a float, do not throw your candy off the float. We kind of ask, if you do have an entry, you have people walking along the float so you can hand the candy out to kids, because there are some kids that come close to the vehicles, and we would hate to have some mishap with one child.
Right.
So we ask them not to throw it.
I know in the past we've had floats that have been in the parade, and one thing that you guys have done that I thought was really neat was ask for, in lieu of any kind of entry fee, you kind of do a donation. Is that going to be something that's in effect again this year? Toy donation?
Yeah, we are, and we do, like, nonprofits don't have to pay a fee, commercial vehicles pay a fee, but then it's still 2 toy donations, and then we're going to take that to the Children's Hospital.
In the past, what kind of toys have you guys gotten? I know that it's always fun to go and pick stuff out. Is there anything that really stands out in your mind as far as toy donations that you've received in the past?
No, they're just dolls and just the little stuff that the kids like. We did get a bike one year, but that was kind of hard to take it to the Children's Hospital for one bike for a child. So we actually did use it for a different event that we had for children. So that worked out well.
Right. And I think that it's important to know that, you guys aren't collecting fees or anything like this. So this is just something that you do, maybe not so much as a fundraiser, but it's just kind of a community event, right?
Right. Like I said, we do charge fees for some vehicles, but that mostly just covers the advertising that we have to put the stuff in the paper. So we don't usually profit off of most of the events we make. We don't, except the fairs are the fair is the one thing that we do make money on, and that is really our operating budget for the next year for the Jaycees to be able to do the events that they do.
When it comes to the parade, like I said, it's a Jefferson City tradition. It's a big event. A lot of people know about it. How much work goes into kind of organizing that and putting that all together?
A ton. A ton. A lot of calls, a lot of manpower, like we said, a lot of volunteers. So it's taken us from August until now just to try to get things organized, and we'll still be going till the day of.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone is interested in learning maybe more about the Jaycees in general, not just the parade, but the other activities you do, maybe some of the leadership classes and training that you were talking about, where can they go to find that kind of information?
They can go to our website at www.jeffersoncityjaycees.org.
Right. And I'm sure there's always something going on, some kind of event that you're looking to that they can get involved in helping and plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming in today. I really appreciate it.
Thank
we
you.
will hope for good weather.
Yes, that would be nice. Good
A
weather.
little sun would be great.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Nice high turnout
Yeah.
for the event. And of course, JCTV will be there once again,
Yes.
taping that and making that available to other viewers who maybe can't make it out the day of the parade or who just like to watch it back after the fact.
Right.
It's always fun
Yes.
too.
Great.
All right, thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
thanks
guys.
for having us.
Thanks. I'd like to thank our viewers at home for watching JCTV. As I said, the Christmas Parade is one event that we always look forward to, and we will be out there taping the parade, and we will be running that on the channel throughout the month of December. Also, DVDs of the parade are available, especially for those people who might be in the parade and participating in it. They don't get to see it, and that's not always very fun. So we have DVDs available so they can watch it back at their earliest convenience. A lot of times it's fun to have that on in the background Christmas Day, too, if you're opening presents or eating or making cookies, whatever you may be doing. Well, we're going to call that a day for today, but don't go anywhere. We have more great JCTV programming coming your way. Thanks for watching.